authorities say that the men who were charged here did not appear on any terrorism watch list. No agency had information about them. How could that be?
Very simple. There is a fundamental problem in the global counterterrorism world in that terrorists, as far as they're concerned, only come in one flavor: Muslim. And what this person was an Australian citizen. He was Caucasian, he was Christian, and he was a ultra right-wing extremist, a part of that right-wing diaspora that were followers of Anders Behring Breivik, the mass murderer of Norway, who shot dead over 80 children a few years ago. They do not watch right-wing extremism, and it is now cropping up everywhere.
Ben, the White Nationalist Manifesto that was posted online before the attacks, you say there are a couple of things that ring obvious bells, and we need to remind our audience, whenever people say a nationalist is the same thing as a patriot, no, it's not.
Right. So he was a white nationalist. That's what he was. And we mean that in the sense that he only wanted white people in his nation. That's what white nationalism means.
Yeah.
And for a lot of these people, I think a lot of people try to defang that word and say it's not as bad as white supremacist, right? Well, how are you going to get only white people in a nation? This is how you do it to these people. The entire manifesto is about this. And of course, like, there is trolling in there, right? There is stuff in there because he was so reared online.
How? Tell us, because not everyone has seen this. What do you mean there was trolling in there? How? Where?
Right. So he posted this manifesto on this thing called 8chan, which is, you may have heard of 4chan. It is double 4chan in every way. It's an extremist website, effectively, where anonymous people are allowed to post whatever they want. He was actually cheered on after he posted this thing. And this is the blind spot that you're talking about, right? Where this stuff isn't monitored with the same sort of rigor. And it's because it's a political issue. It's become a political issue for really no reason. But these people are committing terror attacks over and over again, using the same platforms, getting radicalized by these same algorithms over and over again. And at some point, these tech companies, which, like you said, when was the last time you got recommended an ISIS video on YouTube? Probably never, right? Never. Tech companies can do this. They can stop this. But they have made this a political issue that it really isn't.
All right.
Richard, hold on. In addition to the manifesto, these attacks were streamed. They were on Facebook Live, and they were posted on YouTube. So when Facebook execs try to tell us that, well, it's all about sharing recipes and reconnecting with your high school friends, please.
It wasn't up for very long. They did take it down, but this isn't the first time. ISIS has also done very similar in France when ISIS extremists killed a French police officer. They streamed it online. There have been crimes, murders that have been posted online, and this attacker wanted maximum exposure. He was putting out his manifesto full of white supremacist hate. You notice there was one little image that we showed. We showed the actual gun that was used. Did you notice there was writing all over the gun? They blurred it out. So he was writing names of other white extremists, slogans on the actual weapon as he was using this to carry out his mission of destiny. So this was someone who planned this attack, dressed himself for combat with ballistic goggles on, kitted out his weapon, covering it with the jargon of the philosophy, and then went into this mosque and started shooting. And he wanted exposure, so of course he's going to try and put it online and write his manifesto. He wants to change the world and have a white revolution against Muslims. That was the basic core of this manifesto, that non-white people are breeding out the white people, therefore you need to eliminate them. That was the basic message.
And that's why he posted this on social media, maximum exposure. That's the point here?
Yes, and he wanted to emulate the exact same behaviors that he did from Anders Behring Breivik. Anders Behring Breivik, the Norwegian who went to Utoya Island and shot 69 children dead. And his actual stated purpose was to eliminate the next generation of Norwegian liberal leadership. And this man is revered around the world. He also wrote a manifesto telling them, I actually contend with the phrase white nationalist. This is a white internationalist, white supremacist international. They believe in the clash
of in the
he mentioned Dylan Roof.
So they do communicate.
Antoine
with each other.
Bissonnette from Canada, who was the mosque shooter. His weapons, what he actually had written on those weapons were great generals and leaders who had fought the Muslim world at Vienna, at Istanbul, and the Battle of Lepanto. All of these things were symbols that written on his weapons and his magazine in order to foster this belief that, and he said it in his manifesto, the white race is being eliminated by quote unquote invaders. He views this as an extension of a counter crusade, and that he said specifically to wake up the world. And he mentioned the United States and trying to divide us along the Second Amendment, which is why he preferred
Going
guns.
back to what you were talking about earlier, there is this fundamental problem. When white people carry out crimes, it's called hate crime.
Right.
When Muslims do it, it's called terrorism.
Yep.
And a lot more resources have gone into fighting terrorism than have gone into fighting hate crime.
This
All
is
right,
terrible.
Ben, I want to talk about this because you put a tweet out this morning where you write, extremism researchers and journalists, including me, warned the company YouTube in emails, on the phone, and to employees' faces after the last terror attack that the next one would show signs of YouTube radicalization again, but the outcome would be worse. I was literally scoffed at. Please tell me about this.
Yeah, I was scoffed at by an executive at YouTube.
Don't laugh. Tell me what happened.
Sure, yeah. Look, we have over and over again talked to these companies about the last time this happened, right? It was a couple days before midterms. There was a guy who shot up a synagogue in Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. He used the same verbiage. He said, invaders are coming. They're coming through the caravan, and they're backed by this Jewish cabal that's taking over the world, trying to take out the white race, right? Mm-hmm. So we talked to them. We talked to these tech companies. We talked to YouTube.
And what do they say to you?
They're like, we're working on it. I'm like,
But
well,
what
are
does
you
that
working
mean?
on it?
So in
No,
the last
thing,
12
right,
hours
we
when
don't
I'm
have
watching the
specifics.
news, I keep hearing reporters say, and they're working on taking these down. I don't understand the working on part.
Yeah, and that's the thing. With YouTube put out a statement today. They're saying, oh, we're really working to take down the video of the shooting. And that's great. That's wonderful. But it's the months before the shooting where these people go down rabbit holes and maybe they start as racists and they end up as extremists. That's the stuff they're really not working on at the level they can. They do it with ISIS. Why can't we do it with this?
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.